Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? There was a bunch of shit happening in Congress today, and I guess actually still happening right now. I think they're still debating on the floor in the Senate right now. I'm actually about to check that to see. Oh, hell no, the House is still in session too. What are they talking about in the House? Ah. Oh my God, that's actually hilarious. Did you guys know that apparently the House is considering legislation to propose a new amendment to the United States Constitution that would require a balanced budget for the federal government? And that's what they're talking right now on the House floor. That's actually crazy. This is why you guys got to check out C-SPAN and stuff. Hi, everybody. And then, of course, the Senate is still on the floor going through their procedural process to debate the SAVE Act. So there's that. We don't know how long that'll go for. Well, Fungus, it actually kind of makes sense that would even potentially be a constitutional amendment, but how would you enforce that? How would you enforce that? It's up to Congress to do it. And what? Yeah, I know, Cheeky. Yeah, no, I agree, Jordan. The only one that ever cares about doing a balanced budget is freaking Rand Paul. And Jesselyn, no, it's C-SPAN is not government-run news. You guys actually should look up how C-SPAN is funded. C-SPAN is solely funded from advertisements and then from other news licensing. They receive zero money from the government. So it's not even government-run. They are probably the most unbiased media that you can get, which is why I use them to watch what's happening on the House and Senate floor. It's a common misconception, which is why I have no problem saying it, right? Like, C-SPAN it's not government-run news. That is a common misconception. Yeah, guys, go ahead and send in your daily heart me's. I appreciate you. It's an understandable one, in my opinion. I, in fact, totally understand why. But yeah, there was a bunch of things that happened in Congress today. I can see how you're saying that, Ricky Bobby. Oh, Jesse, thank you. Thank you for that. I did not get that you were doing a bit. Like, for example, Rand Paul and Markwayne Mullin going back and forth and trading blows. Verbal blows, of course, because while Markwayne Mullin might like to fight, that doesn't say that's not what Rand Paul is about. So, yes, and Trump called Gavin Newsom the president of the United States. Okay, Joey. Yeah, no, they were funny. Like, Markwayne Mullin actually made a comment specifically to attack Rand Paul, where he's like, it seems like you want to go after Republicans more than you want to agree with us. And it's just so bad. Like, no, it's that he's actually like, when are people going to learn that Rand Paul's father was a libertarian, very unabashedly libertarian, right? Rand Paul is following along with his father's footsteps, and he's always been an extreme hardliner about not increasing the federal budget or federal spending. He's probably the most honest, fiscally conservative that y'all will ever see. And yet the Republicans want to hate him for what? Just because he actually abides by what he says? I'm not going to vote for something that's going to explode our deficit. Good for him. He actually upholds it. Also, of course, just so you guys know, it is not Tulsi Gabbard's job to figure out or make an assessment or an evaluation of an assessment on whether a threat is imminent or not. It's not her job. She just gathers details. Oh, thank you, Jody. And just puts it out there. That's all. That's all she do. She just hands it over, and also she will not make any comments whatsoever about how she talks to the president and what the president might ask her a question about. Yeah, at the World Threat hearing. So weird. Yeah, and he's also the most constitutionally sound Republican as well, where he won't vote for anything that's not specifically authorized by the letter of the Constitution. Yeah, I know, Jordan. It was quite funny. It was so funny seeing all of that stuff. Okay. I would agree. They are unnerved by someone with actual principles. But I'm just curious, like, how would you enforce a balanced budget, like, for real?
This is amazing.
Yeah. He old. Ooh, thank you so much. Guys, let me get through this. I love that little running icon over yonder. Oh, I'd have to move the chat, don't I? Somebody asked me to move the chat. Phantom, thank you for the bits. Thank you for streaming today. The news is crazy. It's always crazy. Joey, thank you so much for the 1,000 jewels. I appreciate that. And Capo, thank you. Huge W to you for the $49.99 direct dono. I appreciate that. Hi, Olive Drive-By. Horrible. Can't be doing that, Olive. SCOTUS would strike down the budget if it's not balanced, I guess. But how would it even make its way to SCOTUS, Rob? You know what I mean? Like, that would be a process. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a great thought to make it a constitutional amendment. It's also going to be impossible. Absolutely impossible to pass. And if people can't realize that, I don't really know what to tell them on that one. No, I want this. There we go. Someone was suggesting I put it over here, so we're going to try to put it over here. It also means this needs to go down. Okay, guys, that should be better for the chat. You're going to have to deal with that pop-up. Gonna move that. Sorry, guys, I'm over here like playing with things at the same time. Someone would sue the government alleging the budget is unconstitutional. Bill could give some... Okay, I get it. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I didn't even realize that somebody called. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? It sounded like an ocean. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I'm there. Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
44.
Okay, are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am.
Awesome. What specifically has Donald Trump achieved in his first year back in office that has earned your continued support?
We have a really bad echo, so...
No idea why you're hearing an echo, sir.
Well, I'm hearing the person talking on the TikTok and someone on the phone, so who am I talking to?
Maybe you should turn down the stream in the background or close it out. Did you fix it?
Okay. So I support Donald Trump.
Yeah, what has he achieved
Number
to
one,
earn your continued support?
Yes.
What has he achieved so
What he has
far?
achieved, I'm going to tell you that he has achieved his immigration promise. He shut down the border. I hear a
How
lot
did he
of
do that?
myths that. Well, he gave the people power that the Biden administration shipped to
How
let them do their job.
specifically?
I don't know how he did it.
Oh, so then you don't know if he actually achieved that or not. Got it.
No, I do because there was drones prior to his election that was showing millions of people coming over when the mainstream
There are
news was
also
lying,
drones
saying
that
the
show
border was closed.
videos. There are also drone videos
No,
that
no,
show that. Hold
no,
on.
no, no,
Hold on.
no,
There are
no.
also,
Hold
hold
on.
on. One
The head of
second.
the head of the
One
border
second.
union said,
Oh, goodness. I already got to do this. No, sir. I understand that you just want to believe everything that you see
let me
on
ask you.
TV
I just want to ask you
or
something
on
real quick.
YouTube or anything,
One quick.
but I want to let you know.
Is
Hold on,
crossing the border
sir,
illegal or a
sir,
civil offense?
sir,
Is
sir,
cr- Are
sir,
you a fascist or
sir,
do you have data?
sir.
Is
I
crossing
was
the border
literally
illegal
trying
or a
to
civil
make a
offense?
point. Sir, this is not a democracy on my live. This is a dictatorship. I am your dictator. Hello, my name is Ari. Okay, fantastic.
No, it's
There
not
are
a
also
dictatorship.
drone videos that show that Bigfoot is real. So are you saying that I should also
Okay.
believe that Bigfoot is real?
No, I'm telling you to use some common sense, which is hard for you because
Sir,
you're a
you
Democrat.
didn't even have a common sense. Sir, I love how you brought up common sense. You didn't even have enough common sense to close out of the stream in the background and then be confused that you heard an echo. What common sense should I ever listen to you about if you didn't have the common sense to stop the stream when you called a number?
That's not why I got rid of the echo.
Oh, that's not why? Or do you mean that's not how you got rid of the echo? Because that would be how. I had to tell you how to get rid of your echo.
That's not how
Your
I got rid
common
of the
sense
echo.
wasn't even telling you that you were talking to the same person whose number you called above their head.
You know, I have a feeling that you're single and
Oh,
on
yeah.
antidepressants.
I will definitely,
Is that-
I'll definitely have to let them know. Yeah, apparently I'm single.
Yeah,
You're
I
doing
can't
so
imagine
great
how
at
you
this,
wouldn't
by the
be.
way.
Is it a crime to enter America illegally, or is that a civil offense?
If you are found guilty of it, it is a misdemeanor that is, guess what? Subject to a civil fine.
No, it's a misdemeanor.
I already said that, yeah.
Misdemeanor is not.
Correct. It is a misdemeanor that
Right.
you can maybe get 6 months of jail time, but that's rare. Typically, you are subject to the civil penalty, a monetary penalty.
Right, and it's a civil offense. Why?
No, it's a monetary penalty.
No, it's a civil offense because immigration court is handled in the civic court.
Incorrect as well, actually.
No.
Immigration court is not
overstaying-
civil court.
Immigration court is civil court.
It's not.
100% is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is because
It's not.
It is because
What branch
it is
of
because you don't
government?
get your-
Okay, we'll try this. What branch of government does immigration court fall
You don't get your
under?
Sixth Amendment right in civil court.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is so okay.
Illegal
What? Oh goodness. Okay. You're gonna have to calm down, buddy. All right.
No.
What
you
branch
didn't have
of
to answer the
government?
question.
Okay. No, sir. Your common sense is extremely lacking, and we're going to show how. What branch of government does immigration? Oh my goodness. What branch of government does immigration court fall under?
Do illegal immigrants get a public defense?
Sir. What branch of government?
Why are you assuming my pronouns?
That's not a pronoun. Sir is not a pronoun. Your common sense is
It is a
extremely
pronoun.
lacking. Sir is not a pronoun. Anyway, what branch of government? Maybe I need to go all this way back. Okay, maybe I need to go all the way back.
It is.
How many branches of government are there?
There's 600 pronouns. Anything could be a pronoun.
How many branches of government are there? How many branches of the United States government are there?
Immigration court's not a civil court.
How many branches of government is there?
Immigration court is not a civil court.
How many branches of government do we have in the United States of America?
Are you slow, retarded? What's the deal with
And
you?
there you go.
Immigration
So here, I'm
court-
going to help you out with something. Since you slurred, you've already basically just lost. Congratulations. There are 3 branches of the government, okay? You have judicial, which is what your criminal and your civil courts fall under. You have executive, and you have the legislative branch of government. All right? Now I am curious which one of the 3, if we say judicial is 1, executive is 2, legislative is 3, where does the immigration court fall under? 1, 2, or 3? A, B, C, if you will.
Do you remember when the
You don't know. Got it. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to help you out with this again. All right. So immigration court falls under the executive branch of government, which is why it's not a civil court, sir. I hope that helps, right? We have what falls under the judicial branch of government, aka 1, because I assigned it a number and a letter for you, okay? That is under the judicial branch for criminal and civil court cases. When it comes to immigration, that is in fact under the executive branch of government, which is why it's not civil. I hope that helps. Y'all love throwing out the word. I shouldn't say y'all. I shouldn't include everybody. And also, sir is a title or a prefix. It is not a pronoun. I'll say that like once for you when you call in and say stupid shit. All right, well, you just have a shame kink, don't you? Because you just called back. Sir, the moment that you throw out slurs, you've already lost. So go back to, I already put you in your corner, okay? I put you in your corner, Pookie. So I need you to turn back around, face the wall again, and put your nose in that corner, okay? Thank you. Mercy. Yeah. Oh, he wants to do it again. Anyway, so what branch of government does immigration court fall under? Oh, never mind. You don't know. And I don't care. Y'all be trying to do something. I don't know what y'all trying to do exactly, but y'all be trying to do something. Okay. Lord have mercy. Do I need to feed a warm bottle to him? Probably, David, honestly. You probably do. Yeah, probably do. Okay. There was a couple of other interesting things. Basically, of course. Oh, Leslie, Leslie. So you have to go to my my YouTube account and watch the full video. It's good. It's funny. Also, guys, while we're here, real quick, I'll give y'all a second over on Twitch and YouTube. 1 second, guys. Okay, and we're back. We're going to go over, like I said, a couple of more things here. Goodness me, I wish I had some, like, actual, Jesus, some good stuff about it. It is a good story, I will be honest, guys. The placenta story is pretty funny. Let's see. Where is it? I already knew that. I know it was on here. Am I missing it real quick? Just so you guys know, according to Donald J. Trump, he is no longer the president of the United States. That is now Gavin Newsom. I just want to remind everybody of that. Also, if you have a developmental or learning disability, according to Donald Trump, these are Donald Trump's words. Hey, safe. You should not be in a position of power within this country, which I absolutely disagree with. There's goodness me. Let's see. Here it is. I think this is it. Pause. Don't play. Yet. Let's get this ready. I do appreciate X for some things. Oh, yeah, no, I disagree with that. That's not my position, Leanna. That is silly man's position.
You know, because Gavin Newsom has admitted that he has learning disabilities.
Dyslexia.
Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities, but not for my president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities, okay? And I know it's highly controversial to say such a horrible thing. The President of the United States, Gavin Newsom, admitted that he has learning disabilities, dyslexia.
The President of the United States is now Gavin Newsom, just so you know. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi, how old are you?
What is this phone number?
Sir,
It was
I can hear
posted
the
on
stream in the
YouTube Live.
background. Isn't that funny? How? And then you're like, what is this phone number?
But I don't see you talking.
Yeah, it's
It's
called
not
a
Matt.
slight delay. Yeah.
I love Trump. Trump is king.
Ugh, that's weird.
Trump is king.
We don't have kings in the United States. Is that why you're in Canada?
Trump is our king.
Is that why you're calling from Canada?
I fucking love.
Yeah, we know. You're weird. These are always so weird. I love Trump. Listen, if you love him, write him a letter. He won't write back. But just, I mean, there is the potentiality he might. My Canadian friends, come get your guy. I don't know why Maple Mag is calling me to be like, I love Trump. I love Trump. No name, come get your Canadian, okay? Come get your Canadian friend. I don't know how to do that. Trolling is an art form. That was the equivalent of stepping in shit and admiring the footprint. That was a good one. My partner and I always say that if you're going to troll, at least be funny. And that was not funny. But does anybody else want to watch Donald Trump admit that he's not the president anymore? Because I'll play it again. We'll put it back up on the screen. Just for the moment. This is funny to me.
Disabilities. Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities.
This is
but not for my
amazing.
president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities, okay? And I know it's highly controversial to say such a horrible thing. The President of the United States, Gavin Newsom, admitted that he has learning disabilities, dyslexia, everything.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I guess Gavin Newsom is now the president. He already knows. Thank you for calling the stream. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tommy, for that. Saying, hey, Mermaid Ari, great to hear and see you again. Huge W's to Tommy. Huge W to Capo again as well. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate seeing you as well. Don't you guys love like the little running guy that just runs across the screen for a minute? It's just like running up and down. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I would agree. Sometimes I really don't think that Trump knows where he's at. Which part was messed up, Loca? Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. No, I saw Gavin's response. It was pretty good, too. His Twitter post. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay, bye. Let me see if I can't find it. Hold on. I know I found it. I saw it on his TikTok account. Suppose I could just go to there. But hold on, Gavin Newsom Twitter post. Let's see. His wife responded too. Da 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 da. Why I don't like X, to be honest with you guys. Why are so many things pinned? Is this not in order? I'm gonna just look at president. Here it is. I found it. No, I didn't. Why'd you do that to me? This one. Madre de Dios. I hate this stuff. Read more. Nope, it's not pulling it up. I'm going to have to go to, hey guys, thanks for coming in. This stuff being dumb. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
29. How old are you?
I'm sorry, I didn't even hear you.
29. How old are you?
29. Yeah, I'm 30s.
Nice. Why don't
Yeah.
you support Trump? I don't support him either, but do you support Israel?
No.
Okay.
They have the
come?
right to exist, of course, but no, I don't support them in the way that their government continues to bomb people.
Would you consider yourself a Zionist then?
No. Well, you could
But
call
you
me a
still-
Zionist if I just support the fact that Israelis have the right to exist just like every human being on earth does. Is that what you want?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
It's about the only way you could say that I would be a Zionist.
Oh, what's the definition of Zionist to you?
No idea.
Do you think the United States government is occupied?
Occupied? No.
By a
Are they
foreign influence?
influenced? Sure, but that's not occupied, sir.
Or would they not be occupied through financial powers?
Sir, everybody can be bought and paid for in our United States government. That's nothing new.
What if they're working for a foreign government? Would that not be considered occupied?
What country are you calling in from, by the way? I don't feel like looking
I'm
up
in
that
Europe
country.
at the moment.
Okay. Well, you don't support Trump, so you're not the person that I'm looking to speak to. I hope you have a great day.
Okay, you too. God bless.
It's annoying. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a good point, too. They are occupied. They're occupied by covering up the e-files. Ayo. That's a good one. Hold on. Ugh, I hate that. Did it download? Yes, it did. Okay.
The president
Ah! Hold on. We got it.
You're awesome.
There we go.
The President of the United States, Gavin Newsom.
Wow, what an offer. Let me sleep on it though.
That was one of his replies. Let me find his other one because it was funny too. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Awesome. How old are you?
66.
66. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
For the most part,
What has he achieved in his 14 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
action at the border.
Like what specifically?
Well, using our border patrol to patrol the border. Number one.
Okay. Every president throughout history has, well, since CBP has been a thing, has utilized Border Patrol to patrol the border. So I guess you just support every president in existence for their actions at the southern border. Congratulations.
Well, I don't support Biden's
No, you just said
Border
that you.
Patrol.
So, sir, it's the same Border Patrol. You just said that you supported Donald Trump because he's
No,
utilizing
using
the
them to-
Border Patrol to patrol the
Right.
border, which is exactly what CBP's job literally is. So every
is, but
president
during
that
the
has
Biden
ever
administration-
utilized. That's incorrect, sir. Like, can you show me where,
No,
like,
it's not
somehow
incorrect.
it's
No,
not incorrect in
during
your
the-
opinion?
During the Biden administration, they were busy making sandwiches. So that's not Border
They were
Patrol,
busy making sandwiches. What you mean, like on their lunch break or something?
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't
but
know
I know
if
that our-
you if you're on lunch and you only brought the materials to make the sandwich, is it a bad thing for you to then make your sandwich on your lunch break?
I don't know what that has to do with immigration.
I mean, you
I
were
don't think.
I don't know what making sandwiches has to do with immigration either, but you're the one who said it.
Well, right, doing that instead of patrolling the border.
Oh, do you have evidence of that?
Well, there was some evidence on the national news about it, yes.
National news isn't a
I don't-
primary source, but I am curious where you got
Well,
it
it's
from.
a source. It may not be primary, but it is a source now.
What is the
Did-
difference between a primary, secondary, and tertiary source?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just know that the national news is on every night, and if they show film of border agents playing babysitter, then I can kind of trust that that wasn't fake. Now, maybe they faked it.
Playing babysitter? I mean, what else are you
Yeah,
supposed to do when an unaccompanied minor
stopping
comes
people.
to the...
They weren't stopping people from
That's
coming
not
through the border.
true. That's not true
They-
even
they
by
were
the... I'm so
assisting it.
sorry.
They
I'm so
had
sorry.
border
I'm so
agents on
sorry.
there.
I'm so sorry. Hold on for a second. What is it that they keep track of at the border on CBP's website? We can just go specifically
I
to the
don't know.
southwest border.
No, I don't know.
So if you actually look it up at any point in time, it's called encounters. And according to the Department of Homeland Security's own definition of what an encounter means, that literally shows that they were in fact doing their job because there was 8.4 million borders encounter from fiscal year 2021 through fiscal year 2024. So that's untrue. The encounters actually prove that they were doing their job. Because encounters are apprehensions, detentions, and expulsions.
Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I saw on the news.
Okay.
What I saw was a lot of people coming across the border, unvetted, agents cutting barbed wire, pulling barbed wire out of the way.
The
to
barbed
let
wire
people
was
through.
actually Constantine razor wire, which was ordered by the United States Supreme Court to be removed by CBP.
Right, ordered by the Biden administration.
No,
yeah.
by the United States Supreme Court, sir.
I don't know if I remember that.
Of course not, because it's not something people look up. Yeah, no, it was ordered by the United States Supreme Court.
I remember them removing it. I don't know who ordered it.
Because the United States Supreme Court ordered it because we don't even use Constantine razor wire at our prison, sir.
Oh, yeah, we do at the top of the fences, yes.
No,
we
it's
do.
no, sorry. We use barbed wire. Yes, we do not utilize razor wire at our prison, sir. They are different.
I know they're different, but
We use
I don't
barbed
know.
wire. Razor wire is not
Well, the
allowed. It
razor
falls
wire
under
is used
cruel
in
and
a lot of
unusual.
A lot of commercial applications. I don't know about prisons, but I don't
Doesn't
really care
matter.
either one.
We're talking about the southwest
it
border
matters.
in this specific
I think
instance where the United States Supreme Court, I'm going to help you out with this one too. The United States Supreme Court ordered the razor wire to be removed for more than one reason. A, it's inhumane, right? Cruel and unusual punishment. It rubs up against the 8th Amendment and it makes it look a little bit weird. 2, because this has been held up for a long time, that immigration is the federal government's job and not the job of a state. So when the state decided to put razor wire up and across the Rio Grande, they did it outside of their jurisdiction.
Right now, that right there, I can see you probably do have a legitimate point there. I'll agree with that. I
2
can
points.
See where that could be
Because
a
see, every time
conflict of
somebody gets
interest.
injured by razor wire and then they are
But
then
a
encountered by,
a
second.
state may also have some control there.
No, they don't. Again,
yeah, I
this
don't
has
know. I
been
don't know.
like you can look
Well,
at
I'm not
specifically.
A lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just informing you
No, I
that.
said lawyer. I'm
Oh,
not a
lawyer. Got it.
lawyer.
I thought you said liar. No problem. Neither am I. I've just read briefs. Okay. So when it comes
Yeah.
specifically to like determining that immigration is solely the federal government's job, enforcement is the government's job. You can look at Arizona v. United States 2012 Supreme Court ruling where they also declared that as well. And they did it in the same
The only
ruling
thing
where
I
they.
know for sure
Okay.
lately is that I saw Border Patrol agents, more than one. They're again on the national news now, which is left-wing slanted. That it's the cleanest border we've had in 23 years. I
Yes,
think was
according
guy's
to the
statement.
Department of Homeland Security.
Well, according to a border guard down there, I don't know exactly what his rank was or anything. So anyway, at the moment,
Yeah,
without going
I
down there
doubt
myself,
it. Sorry, that's an anecdote, and I don't like anecdotes.
Yeah, okay.
I like
Okay.
statistical data.
Okay, yeah, and the statistics of how many came across the border during the Biden administration versus now,
Oh, yeah, sure. Tell me how many people came across the border.
I don't know.
You don't know? I thought you
don't
like
know.
watching
No, I
national news. They don't tell you how many people cross the border?
Oh, I don't think they did. No.
Interesting.
No, I don't think they have. No, I don't catch every minute of it every night. I don't catch every detail of everything.
I mean, neither do I.
I'm pretty sure it's way down now versus the Biden administration. But
do we
you
keep
can go ahead
track
and
of
senselessly-
crossings? Does Department of Homeland Security, ICE, or CBP.gov, do they keep track of crossings?
I don't know.
Oh, I do. They don't.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
there is literally no way for us to know how many people are crossing because maybe you might be able to help me out with this. How do you count people that are crossing the border illegally when you don't see them?
What do you mean when you don't see them?
If they crossed the border illegally, they weren't caught nor seen. So how do you count people that cross the border that were not seen?
You couldn't if they were never seen, then you couldn't count them.
Right. So people that cross the border, so people that came in illegally, it's an unquantifiable number because they were not seen.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure nobody has a
Yeah. So
number.
even right now, we don't know how many people are crossing the border through non-ports of entry.
No, I know that.
Yeah. So we can't make any claim saying that it's the cleanest we've ever seen just because they're not seeing them.
The Border Patrol did that. I didn't. The Border Patrol said that.
I understand that that's your hearsay
Okay, so
that you're
people
sharing
on
with
the
me.
Border, people on
I
the
understand
border
that that's
doing
your
their
hearsay
job.
that you're sharing with me. So I can't corroborate that, and neither can they.
Oh no, you'd have to see the clip, and then you'd have to argue with that.
I can't
guy who worked
corroborate
there.
that, sir. I'm gonna
No, I know
again.
you can't.
I can't
I know you can't.
corroborate.
You're sitting there in a box. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'm in a box.
But anyway,
I
that's
can't
the thing
corroborate
I
that.
like
Neither
Trump.
can you, and neither can the person who said it. Because again, people that cross through non-ports of entry
Right,
that
that
are
guy
not
only
caught
works there. He
are an
can't say
unquantifiable. Sir, I just need you to listen for a second. People that come into the United States of America through non-ports of entry that are not seen cannot be counted. They cannot be kept track of. It's not a tally mark that you can make. So a CBP agent trying to say that it's the cleanest they've ever seen, they don't know because there's always going to be people that are missed.
Word for it. He works there, so I'm going to listen to him.
Sure, you can. Again, if they're not seeing the people come into the country, then they don't know.
He's working every day, so he's going to see what he sees.
He doesn't work every day. That would be illegal.
I'm sure they
sir.
do. I'm sure they do miss some.
Sir, it would be illegal for him to work every single day.
No.
Are you okay?
He can work 7 days a week if he wants.
No. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He can work as many days as he wants. He's not required to take 2 days off.
You'll have problems.
There's no law on how long you can work on a job.
Actually,
now,
there is.
driving there is.
No, there are
But,
laws. It's called OSHA.
well, he
Also,
can
the
work 7 days a
CFRB.
week if he wants. I don't know. We'd have to ask him.
Oh
I
my
don't know
gosh, the
that.
CRFB. Like, I know you guys don't know any of this stuff. Or, no, sorry, CFRB. My bad. Like, OSHA exists. The CFRB exists. That designates how many hours you can work. Hell, even our United States military members can't just work for however long they want. They are
Well, I didn't say the
also,
military
it's
can.
also,
No, I didn't say the military.
gosh. There are regulations that regulate the federal government and federal employees, sir, and how they work. So no, you're telling me that somebody is going to be just okay working and never seeing their family for weeks on end since Donald Trump became president. So this guy has worked all
Feels all the
365 days of the
time.
year. This guy has worked all
People,
365 days of the year, right?
well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, for your logic to be true, where you're saying, well, he works there, I got to believe him. He works there all the time, every day. Then he must work there 365 days. So by your
Okay,
logic, the guy
you're
never
just
sleeps.
trying to
So
make something out of nothing. You know,
no, you're just saying dumb shit. I'm
you're
sorry.
just
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Can you turn down the stream in the background?
Hello,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 51, and you can tell I'm 51.
Okay. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No, I hate Donald Trump, and I know you support. I know you talk to Donald Trump worshippers up here,
Yeah.
but I just want to tell you something. The other night you heard me sing a song on your show. It was not a crank call. I want you to look it up and listen to it later on. It was from the 1969 Woodstock Festival, Joan Baez. It's called Truck Store Truck Driving Man. Remember that song I was singing?
No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Look it up. Joan Baez at Woodstock 69. It fits so much today. It fits more today than it did in 1969. It's
Okay.
called Truck Store Truck Driving Man by Joan Baez, or originally done by Graham Parsons. But I would go by the Joan Baez version. That's MAGA 100% for you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. You have a good one.
And the rest of these MAGA people, you kiss my, you know what. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Parker showed caller a photo of Trump looking fat. Caller says the camera puts 10 pounds on you. Chad answered, how many cameras did Trump eat? That's a pretty witty on the chat, Deb. That's pretty witty on the chat. Oh, California. I have to do mine wired because the quality is just better when it's wired in to the headphones for the sound, and there is no latency. So I do it that way. And yeah, actually 1 second, YouTube and Twitch. All right. But we'll continue with some more other news. I still need to find Gavin Newsom's TikTok post. Hold on. Let's go to TikTok. Hopefully it doesn't just start playing things. Okay, it did not. Search. I always type his name wrong. Let's see. That's one. That wasn't it. There was one that I saw where it was like a Twitter post. Maybe it was somebody else that posted. No. Let's see. All right. No. Oh, okay. I found it. It wasn't. I don't think this is real. All right. That's why I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at the wrong X account. So this is what it says. Yeah, she found me something else, Leslie. I saw it, but she found me something else. Oh, 1 second. Thank you for calling the stream.
MAGA. It,
Oh, okay.
MAGA.
You don't do it as good as the last guy.
MAGA.
Magaga. It's the final brain cell. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I'm going to take that as that was the final brain cell just going out of his body. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yo, what's up?
Hi, how old are you?
27.
27. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah, he's like one of those inspirational figures out there.
Oh, okay. What specifically has Donald Trump achieved in his 13 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
He's just deteriorated, and like he's not there because age. He's older than Biden, and he still has the highest position in office. I think that's pretty inspiring. If he can be president, you really can do anything.
Okay. Thumbs up for you, I guess.
And I love paying $5 for gas.
That sounds accurate.
I love Israel. I love Netanyahu.
Oh, that's a little awkward.
Magagaga.
Yep. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Okay, let me go back to this. And then maybe I can find the original. But okay, so let's put this back up. Why do you guys always like... Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Well, I was initially when he got in because he ran on making America great, but more so it was focusing on America not having foreign intervention wars, making sure we get things right at home. But seeing like what he's done and how he's bowed to foreign agents and foreign countries, and how it seems like we've been pulled into a war.
Joey, I
And
knew
I
you were
think he
going to be
literally
upset by that
campaigned
comment.
on no more foreign wars, right? So, or regime change wars. So now we saw one with Maduro, and then another. We're seeing them try to do something like that with Iran, but they don't even have the goals right.
No.
So now I feel like I can't really trust him. Like I feel like I got duped, and I thought he was one of the swamp drainers, but I probably should have seen it coming because, I mean, he was a billionaire. He hung out with them. He was friends with Hillary Clinton before, and then he had a falling out with her. So he was in all of these things. So it's probably on me, to be honest, but I can't really support him, like, with my conscience and, like, knowing what he's done. I can't really support him like how I used to before.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. I'm glad that at least, even if you didn't realize it last year, you realized it at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I know like the online rhetoric and the comments are one way, but talking to a lot of people, like a lot of friends and just like people in general, when I meet them outside or stuff like that, I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people who supported him actually now are like, I can't really stand behind him.
You would
And I
hope.
don't know, like I've noticed, yeah, like I've noticed something where like you think what you read online and like the comment section represents the majority of people, but it really doesn't. Like most people don't comment online. Most people don't get online and do this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like we really have a skewed perspective of what the mass populace thinks versus like what's fed to us and like what direction we've been like led down by like media, but not just media. I think, like I said, they do it in like a more granular basis on like the comments and like social media and influencers and stuff like that too. So,
They do. It's
but I don't know. That's
it's
just my.
endorsed and allowed by both parties.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Your YouTube, it said, like, I think like the first question you asked me was, do I still support Donald Trump? Can I ask why you asked still?
Still? Yeah, because there are plenty of people that have called in and have said that he's lost their support.
Oh, you've got that feedback as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That's great. Like, honestly, like, I'm not really like a Republican or a Democrat. I don't think like I belong to either party. Like, I think like I have some views that are left, some views that are right, most of them in the center. But yeah, I feel like it would be great to have a candidate who just is for the people. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that's hard to get because power corrupts and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll get somebody. I think it has to be somebody who almost doesn't want to be in the office for them to be like completely uncorruptible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but
know if
that's not
we'll
how that
ever get that.
works because you have to willingly
That's
campaign.
not how the system is.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to willingly campaign. It's not like oh gosh. Well, no, see, I was trying to think of an equivalency. I guess we can say it's not like being picked for his cabinet, right? Where you're chosen by the person that's in power to take that position.
Yeah, exactly. It's so ingrained. Like it's like you said, it starts at like the grassroots level of it, if you think about it. Like from the campaign to like having to raise all that money. Once you're in office where you constantly still are trying to get donors and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then obviously once you're in that system, once you're in that grind, that mix, that meat slaughter, I don't know. I don't think like people really choose people based on like morals, but I think it's more like cunningness and aptitude. And I think it just draws people who are attracted to power. I think that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's like
I
likes
wouldn't
to
say that they're attracted
fucking
to
impact.
power. Some people have their own reasons for running, right? I'm not saying they're all perfect because I would assume that most of them don't have great intentions. Rick Scott is a perfect example of one of those people that had no good intentions when going into office. Hell, I'd even say to a degree Nancy Pelosi went into office with piss poor intentions, right? But
Okay.
like I'm just also going to say that like there are plenty of people that go into office for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm
Yeah.
not saying people don't go in for the right reasons, but I think like it's just like the system is kind of, it forces you to almost choose. You know what I mean? Like I think like there's a lot of people that are in office and that serve the country in like multiple ways in multiple offices that are great, amazing, good human beings. I just feel like with the politicians, it's not all of them maybe, but it's just they're in the system. You know what I mean? Like the fish is in water, and when you're in the poison, like you're just in it. Like you don't know what it's like not to be in it, I guess. Like everything around you is that way. That's just your environment.
Okay. Well, I just hope what I would suggest everybody to do, and I say this to everybody, period, every time, if you vote in your midterms, because that's the best thing that you can always do, research your candidate's agenda before voting for them.
I agree. I think the main thing here is that we actually have a voice. Like I saw a journalist saying this about like the Epstein files and like how we could get them to get it released. And he said, all your politicians, the number one thing that they want is to be viral, right? Like they want to be famous.
No, they don't.
Votes.
Again,
So
I'm going to
if
say
you
this.
tell them,
Please stop
like, you know what I
saying
mean?
it's everybody, because it's not.
No, like most of them, they want to be voted in, right? Like that will matter to them if they're a politician, right? Like so they do want to go viral. So if you make this like
That's not going
whatever
viral.
issue you have, like I don't know, like they want to be famous, like they want to be known, like they want to be like people talking about them on TikTok, especially on like in a positive light, right?
I
So
disagree.
what we
Again,
could
I'm
do,
going to disagree with you there. Sorry. I don't think that that's most politicians that want to go viral or be famous. There are plenty of politicians that are campaigning for office or that have currently held a state local office that have no candidate page. They don't even have their own website. I know this because I've gone through the attempt to reach out to them. There are so many candidates that don't even have a website, that don't even have a social network like page set up that says, "Hey, I'm running for this office." So you just got to stop.
do you
Like
think
that's not.
do you think they would like people to know, even if they don't
People
have
should
it?
know. People should know about what their policies are if their name is out there. I don't know what you're
Do you
saying.
think they would like people to? No, I'm asking you, the politicians who don't have these websites and whatnot. Do you think they want people to know that they're campaigning, that they're running?
You would think so. I don't know, sir.
That's
I
what
honestly
meant.
don't
Yeah,
know.
like that's what I meant by I
So
think
it's
they
not
would want to
about,
go
sir.
viral.
Listen.
So for
I
us,
can't.
I think what we could do is like try to make them viral by bringing up the things that we think are important to us and saying, hey, if this is important to you and you represent us, talk about it, calling them, you know what I mean? Like talking about it on social media, whatever it is.
Okay, then do that, sir. Like I don't really.
Yeah, and I'm just encouraging your audience and people who support the left, the right, whatever they support, like to call in to their senators, to their congressmen, to their representatives, to vote in their local elections, from like the sheriff's office to whatever you can vote for. And I think you're right. Like people should do their research, go into the midterms, looking stuff up. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I always read people's policies before I vote. Okay, well, I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Yep. And
Thank
like I said, I think it's the people's power to vote.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all you can do is get out and vote. For the person that tried calling in twice, you're welcome to call in again. The phone lines are back open. For now, I'm going to go ahead and go back to trying to read through this post. Oh. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
What the fuck was that?
Somebody that I guess wanted to get something off their chest. Oh, okay, bye. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. How old are you?
I am almost 45.
Okay. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What specifically has Donald Trump achieved in his first year back in office that has earned your continued support?
So I was listening to your previous caller, not trying to bash, but it just seemed very nonsensical. But Most of his policies that he ran on, I very much support. Locking down the border, we're at 97% decrease.
I didn't ask you. Sorry, I am going to correct you on one thing. I didn't ask you why you voted for him. I asked you what
you said,
specifically
what is he doing
has
to
he
support?
achieved?
Yeah, yep.
What has he achieved, right? And I asked for specifics.
And I gave you a specific. Yes,
No,
ma'am.
you didn't. You just gave a
97%
vague. So
reduction.
shut down the border. How did he do that? That would be a specific.
I was getting there. 97% reduction.
Where can I
on
find that
illegal
statistical
border.
data? Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Where can I find that statistical data that it's not a news, media, or press release on CBP, ICE, or DHS.gov?
So the CBP should have that as well too, because when they
Where can I
changed the
find that that
CBP
is not a
One tab,
news, media, or press release? What would be the name on the CBP website? What would the title be? That shows that we have a
I would have to-
97% reduction in crossings.
So the DOJ would not be. So
The Department of Justice is not the Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security is what oversees
completely understand.
ICE and
Completely
CBP.
understand. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to finish a part, but I do keep getting cut off when I haven't finished the sentence yet. Yes, the Department of Justice, I understand that it's completely different than the Department of Homeland Security. But who keeps tallies of the Homeland Security? That would be DOJ, correct?
No, the Department of Homeland Security is their own office. They're their own agency.
They are their own agency, yes, and they are all separate. Who keeps the tallies of illegal and legal crossings coming in?
The
Would it
Department of
be-
Homeland Security would be the one responsible for doing that.
And so they don't report to the DOJ at all? Because I disagree, because listening to C-SPAN, listening to the Senate hearings, they 100% do. But, no? You don't listen to those or no? Because those are these people talking.
No. So I think what you're confused on is you're confused on Department of Justice referrals, right? So if the Department of Homeland Security, let's say, for example, picks up an immigrant who has a DNA match to having committed a crime somewhere, right? They would then be referred on to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution. They can be deferred to the Department of Justice, but they do not answer to the Department of Justice.
They do not answer. I didn't say that. The tally, though, do they? I thought the Department, unless I'm incorrect, the Department of Justice has very accurate keepings of numbers, correct or no?
Fine, then show me where the Department of Justice keeps track of southwest and northern border crossings that is not a news, media, or press release.
That one's kind of a hard one to tally, just like the migrants coming across. Anywhere. So
what was the whole point of the last 3
that.
minutes?
Well, you were talking for 2:45, but on the part of that is because you asked me a simple question. What has he promised that he has done?
Right, and you already gave an answer about the border, and now we're digging into that. And you brought up the 97% in reduction in border crossings. So then I asked you, where do we keep track of border crossings? Where do we keep track of border crossings on the Department of Homeland Security, CBP.gov, or ICE.gov? And then you brought up the Department of Justice, saying that all of a sudden, the DHS now reports to the Department of Justice on these numbers. And so therefore, by your own logic, you were saying that the Department of Justice somehow keeps track of the number of border crossings. So then what the fuck did you mean?
Right there, you see, that's a typical, kind of like and I'm not even saying I'm a very left-wing thing.
Sir, it's not a typical left-wing thing to be exasperated by the fact that we went on 1 minute and 30 seconds of fucking nonsense where you literally said You literally said, I was watching C-SPAN and I heard it on there that the Department of Homeland Security reports to the Department of Justice. Am I wrong? And then I explained to you as calmly, as clearly as I possibly could, that the Department of Homeland Security will refer people over to the Department of Justice for criminal referrals for prosecution. They will refer cases over to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution. But you said all of that in line with saying that the Department of Justice, when I asked you about crossings, you brought up the Department of Justice. So now are you now moving back away that you're saying that the Department of Justice doesn't keep track of border crossings?
I never said that. You said that.
Then why did you bring up, okay, then let's try this again. We're going to try this over again. I'm going to ask you a very direct question. When I asked you for, sir, you're going to have to stop trying to yell over me, all right? When I asked you for where Department of Homeland Security keeps track of border crossings, why on God's green earth did you bring up the Department of Justice?
Okay, so yes, Customs and Border Patrol keeps track of their own numbers. When I was listening to C-SPAN a few months ago and listening to the Senate hearing when they had the Department of Justice on there, never once said that Customs and Border Patrol answers to them. What I did say is that the Department of Justice does keep a very accurate tally of people coming in and out. Yes, it is for referrals, 100%. So you would have
so it's not people coming in
in.
and out of the country.
Well, if you're illegal, then yes, that would be people coming in and out of the country
No,
illegally because
no.
So Customs and Border Patrol keeps track of people coming in legally?
Sir, that's not even what you just said. That's not even what you just said. Try to rephrase your question.
Okay, so that wasn't a question. You asked me a question, and I answered, so that would have been
Fine.
a statement.
Try to restate your statement. Rephrase your statement.
Okay, so question then. How do we come to like a common ground? So if one says, hey, we have 97% reduction in border crossings, how would you like that tally?
I asked you to rephrase your statement, not go on to a different part in your claim.
It's still in the 97%. It's the same claim.
Correct. That's what I just said. No, sir. Okay. You're not listening to what I said. I asked you to rephrase your statement, not to move on in your claim, which then you literally went on to say that you were moving on in your claim. Literally, as I was trying to explain to you that I asked you to rephrase your statement instead of moving on with your claim. This is why you, okay.
Because you're asking, how did I get the 97% number, correct? That was your question.
Yes, I did ask you one of those questions. Correct.
Yeah.
So
how
where?
do we tally the numbers?
Yeah. Where are crossings on the Department of Homeland Security, CBP, or IC.gov?
From CBP.
Mm-hmm.
That is their official statement.
No. I said not a news, media, or press release originally when I asked you. I want statistical data. I said that from the start. I said, you said 97% of border crossings are down. Great. Where can I find the statistical data that is not a news, media, or press release on DHS.gov, ICE.gov, or CBP.gov?
Well, they might not have all of the reportings in. So as far as finding the statistical data,
they're required to report this data quarterly. They are required to report this data quarterly. We are now in quarter five. We are now in quarter 5 of Donald Trump's administration. So are you telling me that they are not reporting on any data that they are required to update quarterly? If not monthly, they are required to update it quarterly. They are required to update this quarterly. So you're telling me that they are now ignoring their own reporting requirements by not reporting for the last 4 quarters of Donald Trump's administration, and we are at the end of quarter 5.
Oh, 100%. Just like Joe Biden's for 4 years lied about it and never reported it. So,
sir, everything was always reported. Sorry, this is you're now pivoting to Biden. You're now pivoting to but Biden. Okay. You're not diverting the conversation off of Donald Trump and then going to but Biden. Okay? That's not what we do here. We are sticking on one subject, and I've been literally holding your feet to the fire this entire time to stay on a singular point of contention, and you're not diverting, and I'm not going to allow you to divert. Okay? So where am I finding the statistical? No, it's not an analogy. It is not an analogous. It is not a comparison. We are talking about one thing that you still have yet to prove to me. Where can I find the statistical data of the 97% decrease in illegal border crossings? That is not a news, media, or press release.
On the border and doing it. Would you not trust? So do you not? Trust that?
Okay. What I'm going to rephrase my entire question. When I am done stating my entire question, at the end of it, I am going to ask you another question that says, "Tell me which part which word in this sentence you did not understand." Okay. You stated that there has been a 97% reduction in illegal border crossings. So my question to you is, where can I find the statistical data that shows that there has been a 97% decrease in border crossings that is not a news, media, or press release and can be found on the Department of Homeland Security, CBP, or ICE.gov? Now, which part of that question did you not understand?
I understand that. So you're saying that because they have not uploaded it. So
no, I'm asking you to show me. CBP? I am what? See, this is why I asked you, which part did you not understand? You made a claim. Your claim was that there is a 97% reduction in border crossings. I am asking you for the statistical data that proves your claim. That is not a news, media, or press release that can be found on the Department of Homeland Security, Immigration's Customs Enforcement, Customs and Border Protection.gov websites.
Down the conversation. Again, have you went on to the CBP app?
I am well aware of the CBP app. Not the apps or the website. Yes, I am literally aware of the CBP website.
The app shows the deportation. So when
the app does not show deportations, and that's not even a word. Deportations. Deportations. I'm stuck on the word. Deportations. Are we deportioning up my meal? Is that what that is at this point? Deportations. Deportioning up my meal. Okay. The CBP One app was originally utilized in order for individuals that are wanting to seek asylum within the United States of America to send up their information and their paperwork prior to making the journey to the southwest border. And after they submit that information, they would be given a hearing to have their credible fear hearing with a CBP officer in order to see if they have a valid claim of asylum. The CBP One app was released October of 2020. That was when Donald Trump was still president of the United States. Since he came into office, he has done away with that part of the CBP One app. They are now saying that the CBP One app can be used to report your self-deportation. But in fact, we have no evidence of self-deportations actually occurring. What we do know is that in fact, the Donald Trump administration has removed the legal status of 2.5 million legal immigrants, people that were documented and had status to be within the United States of America, not people that just came in illegally. When it comes to illegal immigrants deportation, it's actually about 253,000. You can actually find this on ice.gov/statistics. There is a lovely Excel worksheet that you can download off of that website. Literally, see how I actually gave you a very specific website? ice.gov/statistics. At the bottom of that, you can find the Excel worksheet to download, export, and it gives all of the data up through February. Ooh, oh my goodness. It's almost like data is actually available to you, sir. See, it is actually a gotcha moment for me when I'm asking people about that 97% reduction in illegal border crossings, because newsflash, the United States of America cannot keep track of border crossings because, sir, I don't know if you realize this, but if you don't see somebody crossing the border, they are not found, they are not caught, so therefore they are missed. You cannot keep track of how many of them cross the border through a non-port of entry, right? That's how that works. Wow, quite interesting. So the idea that there's been this 97% reduction in border crossings, it doesn't exist. There is no proof of that. There is no statistical data that comes from that. And yes, you can, under 8 U.S. Code 1225, deport somebody that have entered within the United States within the last 2 weeks, within specifically 100 miles of the southwest border, can be removed without a hearing, and they are then counted under an encounter, because those are considered apprehensions and expulsions or repatriations after they have been encountered. So that number under 8 U.S. Code 1225 is actually included in the encounter numbers on this Southwest, if you go to cbp.gov, Southwest border encounters. Wow, fantastic for the person that asked that question in the comments. That's how that works. Crossings cannot be counted if somebody is unknown. That is why they are illegal. Fantastic. Also, Nick, you're wrong. Congratulations. You're still wrong. Awesome. I still don't understand why you brought up the Department of Justice, because here's another great statistic that the CBP also brings up and keeps track of, is how many immigrants have been charged with having committed a crime, and how many immigrants have then afterwards been convicted of having committed a crime. About every single year, the CBP reports that we have about 80,000 immigrants that are charged with violating 8 U.S. Code 1325 and 8 U.S. Code 1326. Out of those 80,000 charges that we see in a year's time, we maybe see afterwards 120 convictions on average, because the cbp.gov keeps track of that number as well, because it is very difficult to prove whether someone crossed through a non-port of entry or not, or how they came into the country. That's how that works. Guys, if you are new here, be sure to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, depending on what platform you are on. TikTok, you guys should already be at 100,000 likes. I need you guys to get there in 11 minutes, or this time I for real will turn the comments off on you guys on TikTok, okay? We do have gifts, super fans, super chats, memberships, super gifts. Holy shit.
Okay, let's go.
You guys have to see the gift on TikTok. Thank you so much, Kat, for the flying Adam, or Adam's dream. That was so cool. I haven't heard that one in a long time. We also have bits and subscriptions available. Thank you, Kat. WCAT, K-A-T in the chat, guys. WCAT for that one, for the Signature Jet, thank you. Bits and subscriptions available over on Twitch as well. The best way for me to read your comment is to send a super chat. That's the guaranteed way for me to read your comment. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 40.
40. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
You mean as a person or his policies?
As a president.
I don't like the man. I like what he's doing, somewhat. In comparison to every other president, I guess, in the last decade or two.
Okay. So you don't support Donald Trump?
No, I do.
Okay.
I like the tariffs.
The tariffs that were deemed to be unconstitutional?
Because he did it the wrong way.
The tariffs that were
But-
deemed to be unconstitutional, so you like violating the Constitution?
I think originally tariffs were part of it was part of our system for a long time. I think the reason they went away was because the central bank.
Sir, tariffs have always been a part of the system. They have always existed. But sir, the way that they get implemented, the way that tariffs get implemented, unless it's under very explicit terms, the way they get implemented is by, guess what? Congressional approval. Legislation, in fact.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
using
which is why
which is
why the Supreme Court of the United States of America found and deemed Donald Trump's IEEPA tariffs to, in fact, have been a violation of Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution. So I would say it is quite interesting.
He could do it correctly.
I'm sorry, what?
There was one of the decisions said that, or told him how he could do it correctly.
And what was that called? Like, what part did they write in the releasement?
It was one of the dissenting opinions.
Dissenting opinion, yeah. And I want you to know, like, because I also read that, but Kavanaugh said he could try to do this. We don't know if, sir, okay. Kavanaugh could try to do this, right? You're awesome. Could try to do this, but we don't know the constitutionality until it's also argued in court, which, again, companies are already suing to argue it in court.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We're getting. So I mean, look, the big thing is I guess is the idea behind it, that people are complaining that tariffs are what is causing things to cost more, but it's just the cheap shit coming in from China or other countries that are destroying our economy. China is able to build so many electric cars, and they're actually way better than ours. And what they do is they ship all of these cars over to a country, and they take over the market, and they force all of the businesses to go out of business because they can't compete with a $10,000 car when their cost in that country is $20,000. After a couple of years, the automotive industry in that country is gone, and now China, all they have to do is raise the prices, and they have made a monopoly.
Sir, do we? I'm curious. Do we have Chinese electric vehicles in the United States?
No, because the tariffs make them too expensive to probably ship here, and I think we've actually banned them.
Yeah, they're banned in the United States. It has nothing to do with the tariffs.
Oh no, I'm telling you the idea behind it. I'm not.
That's your supposition.
You might be right about
That's your supposition. Also, because I did research on this the other day, the Chinese the Chinese vehicles, their electric vehicles, are safer than even the Teslas we have in the United States.
Yeah, I already gave you that point. I said that they're way better than ours.
Yeah, way better. I didn't say better. I said safer.
Well, better includes safer. I mean, I haven't driven one. I haven't researched any of them. I have no point to try to buy one. So why would I even look into it? but
Gotcha.
I have seen YouTubers go to China and do reviews on it, and they're like,
Sure.
these are amazing, but who knows how much they actually know.
Yep.
So tariffs, I think it's great for our economy.
Tariffs are
It's
not
gonna-
good.
I just explained how they're good.
No,
Why aren't
you
they good?
didn't. You just said because you said tariffs are good because China's bad. Yes, I realize I'm straw manning your argument and I'm bringing it down to the literal simplistic terms because you used a lot more gobbledygook to argue against China's growing, ever-growing influence and your idea of how they try to take over the markets by introducing their electric vehicles into new markets. That would be fine. That would be fine. That would be fine if the tariffs were only on China. They're not. They're on every single they're on every single country in the world. Even more so now because the IEEPA tariffs were shot down and that the under Section 302, I think is the one that he's utilizing, has to be blanket across the board. He no longer gets to make his deals, which is why the EU pulled out of their deal and all of the other countries have also revoked their investment promises and the deals because they are now being tariffed more than what they agreed upon. And Donald Trump can do nothing about it because he didn't make any single one of these legislative action to be his point, right?
Yeah, you're scattering all over these places.
I'm literally not. I'm staying on the same thing and talking about tariffs. I'm just moving past your main point of China is bad because you only spoke about China. This isn't me skipping. I'm adding more elements to it because this is how it is. Tariffs, let's try this. Let's at least make sure you understand this very minimum, bare minimum. We're going to make sure you're going to understand this bare minimum fact. When the United States of America has a 15% tariff on a country like Brazil, any product that is coming into Brazil, let's say it's coming through the port of Los Angeles, even though that would be unreasonable, but it comes into the port of Los Angeles. When that item from Brazil comes there, who is responsible?
I'm talking about the protection that it gives the economy,
Okay. Let me finish my question so you can answer it because you were talking about tariffs. That was literally your main points. You are going to answer my question. I am going to get it all the way out. If you interrupt me, I will restart my question every single time until I am finished. That includes right now. Okay. We have a tariff of 15% on every country. We'll use Brazil as the example. Brazil is importing an item or exporting an item to the United States of America. When that item lands in the United States of America, who is responsible of paying that 15% to the United States government?
Okay, can I ask you some details?
No, this is a very clear-cut question. This is very simple. If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know.
No, tariffs.
You don't need any more details. We are going to restart the question now. We have a 15% tariff on all imports coming out of Brazil. When Brazil exports an item to the United States of America, who is responsible of paying that tariff to the United States government of 15%?
The importer.
The importer. So the United States importer. The United States importer. Just to be clear. The United States importer is directly responsible for paying the tariff to the United States government.
You're not dealing with what I'm saying. You're just trying to scream over me.
Sir, you interrupted me this entire time. Do not try to play a purity conversation right now or tone policing right now. You did it to me, which is why I then had to get stern because you kept interrupting me every single point I was trying to make, even though I allowed you to make your entire point about how China was trying to dominate other people's economies with their electric vehicles, and that's why you agreed with tariffs. Right? Cool.
That's not what I said at all.
I don't really care. Okay. So, your argumentation that you started off with was that you like tariffs, right? So we brought this down. We've got everybody to agree, including you, that tariffs on imports are paid by the American importer, right? And because Donald Trump got rid of the de minimis clause, every single item that is imported into the United States of America is subject to a tariff, whether it costs $355,000 or $20. It is subject to a tariff if you import the item into the United States of America from every single country. There are no more exceptions because of Donald Trump. His IEEPA tariffs were overruled and he's doing it another way, right? So we have acknowledged that it is paid by the American importer, so the person within the United States is paying it, right? And we already know because companies are suing for the cost of the tariffs that it cost them, and that they did pass along this cost to the consumers. At the end of the day, it does negatively impact consumers. There have been studies done by the Penn Wharton budget model, done by Harvard, also done by Cato. Cato did a lovely study on it. There have been further ones by the Tax Policy Center and the taxfoundation.org that have all shown that on average, the tariffs that were imposed from April 2025 through the end of 2025 cost the American taxpayer on average, we're going to go with the middle number because they say between $1,000 to $2,000 depending on which study you look at. So we're going to go right down the middle, $1,500 on average from what they've had to pay because of higher prices at the store. When you swipe your card or pay in cash, you have paid more, right? So you may think that tariffs are beneficial. Yes, they are bringing in more money to the economy at the cost of the American consumer, while Donald Trump continues to lie to everyone's faces, saying that tariffs are paid by the foreign country, which he continues to say, even to when he was complaining and whining about that SCOTUS shot down his illegal, unconstitutional IEEPA tariffs.
Is it my turn? Hello?
Can you address any singular thing that I just said?
Yeah, absolutely. All of that is caused from growing pains, from switching from one system to another. Obviously, things that are coming from other countries and coming into our countries are going to be more expensive because they're coming through the ports or coming from exterior locations. Anything made in the U.S. is now going to have a chance of, let's say it's just socks, and I don't know where they're coming from, but let's say you could make socks in some poor country for 10 cents, and you have to make them here in the United States for 50 cents. There is no way someone can compete with that. So the tariffs are equaling out the field where the U.S. consumer can now afford to, or is forced to, buy U.S. goods. And yeah, they're being forced to, and that's painful at the beginning. But you know what it does? It gives money to U.S. companies instead of giving money to foreign companies. It lets U.S. companies create more jobs and create industry. That's why I like the tariffs.
Cool. Then why have we lost over 100,000 manufacturing jobs in the year 2025 alone?
Well, how long have tariffs been around?
Sir, we're talking about the blanket tariffs that you love so much. Why have we lost 100? Sorry, sir. You like to not answer questions. The next time, I'm gonna guarantee you this. The next time I ask you a question and you respond to me with another question, I am going to mute you and I will answer my own question for you because I, at that point, will have deemed that you are incapable or lacking in the knowledge of to answer the question.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Tariffs are so good. They help American companies. This is your claim. Then why have we lost 100,000 manufacturing jobs in the year 2025 alone? And why is it that manufacturing companies were the number one filers of Chapter 11 bankruptcies in 2025?
Well, I don't know, but can I
Good. I'm
respond to
glad
that?
you've at least answered that. Here's why. I can actually tell you. Tariffs are why. Because unfortunately, within the United States of America, as much as it is nice to say made in America, manufacture it here, you can put it all together here, you can get every single little product that you need in order to make it within the United States of America. We do not currently have the infrastructure in order to have everything, quote, made in America. So
Can I ask you a
therefore,
question?
I am literally in what?
You sound mad. I mean,
It is exasperating to constantly be interrupted by someone when I was obviously still in the middle of it. I said, therefore, when you said, can I ask you a question? You literally interrupted me in the middle of my sentence. So go ahead,
okay.
ask your question.
Do you remember during COVID how everybody
And
was
there's the
figuring?
diversion.
No. I mean, look, it's directly connected. During COVID, we realized that a lot of we couldn't get
No, sir.
or
This
paper
is called a
masks
diversion
because
or a pivot, depending on which way you want to go. But when you have to go back to C19, which ended, I don't know if you realize this, May 11, 2023, it seems that you lived and died in that year. We are talking about Donald Trump's current term. We are literally talking about Donald Trump's current term. No part of that involves you doesn't need you to go back to fucking C19.
Fucking? Okay, it's that kind of conversation?
Oh, did I hurt your princess feelings?
No, I was just trying to be civil. Look, what I'm trying to say is that during COVID, we realized that we're importing a lot of things. We're importing too many things, and
Did I hurt
we
your
can't
princess
get it.
feelings? Saying fuck.
That's pretty
Did I
cute.
hurt your princess feelings? Saying fuck. Did I hurt your princess
I'm gonna
feelings?
cry.
Saying fuck.
It's a word. Perhaps don't let a singular word, F-U-C-K, offend you so much that you have to go with, oh, we're going there now. Sir, if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't have brought it up.
I thought our framework was civil, not
If it didn't
yelling
bother
and
you,
saying.
you wouldn't have brought it up. Trust me, I've been
probably
doing
true.
this long enough that I know that if it didn't bother you, you wouldn't have brought it up, because I hear a bunch of horrible shit said to me every single fucking night, especially in the comment section, and I ignore them
Do you think
because
I
it
was
doesn't bother
see,
me.
That's the difference. I don't do that. I don't do what you do, so I don't hear that often. I usually try to talk
You don't talk to
with respect
people?
to people.
Sir,
No, most
saying
people are
fuck
stupid.
is not disrespectful. Saying shit
Okay.
is not disrespectful.
That
Calling
is
you
your
an
opinion.
asshole
Yeah.
would be disrespectful. Saying the word fuck doesn't mean anything.
Why are we
Saying
not talking
shit
about
doesn't
what?
mean anything. It's an expletive.
Okay, but my point was, look, during COVID, we realized that we were bringing in too many things, and then when we needed certain things, they weren't around. China was saying, nope, we're going to give it to our people first, and then we'll send it to you guys. Things for medicine, things for, the face masks were one of those issues. Nobody could get them for the first couple years, or maybe a couple months. I don't know how long it was. I never really got one because I knew it was bullshit. But all the people on certain sides were crying about it. People were policing other people about it. But it all comes back down to, if you want to have a secure nation, you need to build things in your own nation and control the things that are required in times of emergency, whether it's COVID, whether it's war. I don't know if you've noticed, but people are talking a lot about how many missiles we've been using and how little our stock is, and that we've brought, I think, radar systems from South Korea and left them without the radar systems that we had given them, and they've been there for a long time. So this is what I'm trying to explain, that the tariffs are going to let us start building things in our country, but it's going to take time. It's not going to happen in 1 year. Things might go out of business because obviously the people bringing in stuff from other countries. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay. I can't hear anything, so I thought maybe you put me on silent or hold. Okay, well, the bringing in, I lost my train of thought, but that's the idea. I'm assuming you get the idea. No?
So, about the increase in manufacturing companies declaring bankruptcy in 2025.
Sure, if those manufacturing companies were relying on products from other countries and
Cool.
the cost
Where
of
do we
those
get? I'm curious about something because we
you know,
also
you
had
just
an issue.
interrupted, right?
Yeah, this is my show,
Fuck.
and you've shown that you have a lack of respect for me from the start because you continue to not listen or address any of the points that I make. Okay, so where can we grow coffee beans in the United States of America?
Coffee beans. I don't drink coffee. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that you need Mediterranean climate. I know that California has one area that's very small for that, but I think they grow strawberries and avocados there instead because they're more profitable. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we could grow them in the United States.
Hawaii.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the only place that is currently capable of making coffee. Do you think that Hawaii has the land capacity to supply coffee beans to the entire population of the United States of America?
I think there's lots of things that fit that particular framework. Doesn't just have to be coffee beans. It could be avocados, almonds.
Oh, wait, we're getting somewhere now. So you understand that we don't have the correct climate
Yeah, it's called
or
trade. It's called
landscape
trade.
to
You're
get
absolutely right, but
everything that is needed within the United States of America. Fantastic. Where can we source potash in the United States?
Can I ask you how many global
No,
superpowers
I literally told you
are
that.
just
Cool. Potash, guys, that is actually needed to make your lumber firm so that your lumber can be utilized to build houses like this lovely wall behind me, right? We don't have potash in the United States of America. You actually get that from Canada. The United States imports it from Canada. We have to utilize it within our fertilizer in order to make our lumber harder in order for it to be sufficient enough to build our houses. Interesting. We can't get that in the United States of America. So this is something else that we can't fully supply. Do you think that the United States of America has sufficient cobalt to suffice with everything that we need? Because we do utilize cobalt within our electronics.
Yeah, we're trying to mine it. It's a critical mineral that we need to import, and
that we need to import. Fantastic. And it is utilized within our electronics. Great. I love this. We are getting him to understand that we are not self-sufficient enough in order to have everything completely made within the United States of America, have every piece of it made within the United States of America. So therefore, there are items that we will always have to import into the United States of America to keep us going because we don't have access to everything here. Do you understand yet how tariffs can be harmful
TMC,
to
mining company?
Do you understand yet?
Company.
Okay. I'm going to take that as a no. He still has yet to understand how tariffs hurts industries when there are no exceptions made on these items to not be subject to import tariff taxes, right? We'll just say it that way. They are subject to the import taxes on goods that are necessary for the things that we need within the United States of America because we are a consumer-based market. That's how we have been for a long time. And because we don't have access to everything that we need, we again have to import it. So therefore, tariffs hurt us. They hurt our manufacturing companies. and they hurt our small businesses. You can answer this one with a simple yes or no because I don't expect you to know this answer. Are you aware that in 2025, we also saw the largest increase in small business bankruptcies in the United States of America? Plus, not only did we see the largest increase in small business bankruptcies in the United States of America, but we also saw the largest decrease in new businesses opening up in the United States of America in 2025.
Is that bad for Trump? New businesses?
All of it's bad, sir. Yes, we need new businesses so that we don't have monopolies within the United States of America. Because as we already know, when we have monopolies within the United States of America, they control the market. And when they control the market, they get to raise the prices constantly. And then because people get used to paying those prices, they don't lower those prices. And when you have a foreign market, so let's just say we'll give an example of, actually I can't think of one right now. But if you have a competitor in our market that imports everything because they're an external company, we'll just say Toyota. Let's just say Toyota has a monopoly on electric vehicles, right? Not hybrids, electric vehicles. They have a monopoly. We're just going to use this example. They can price it at whatever price that they want. And in order for they can price it low, right? Because they can go high or they can go low, right? And when they price it a certain way, where because it was cheaper for them to manufacture it in, let's say, China or in Japan or Korea. Yes, I know Toyota is a Japanese country. Let's say they price it at a vehicle at $26,000. Well, that's the bare minimum that it costs a company like Ford to create a totally electric vehicle within the United States and have it all made within the United States. So at that point, Ford's not going to break even. So they're going to price it at least an amount that they know that they can make a profit off of, right? So let's just say they price it off at $30,000. And that's somebody trying to enter in the business because corporations are there to protect their shareholders and make money. Okay? Well, now Toyota can slowly increase their prices. And because they're increasing their prices, the demand for those items to make that vehicle are also going up, which means the cost in order for Ford to produce that vehicle also goes up in price to match that. So when you see that happen, you also see the price that consumers are paying also increase. Because again, businesses are there to make a process or make a profit. They're there for their shareholders.
The price that people want to sell steel for and make it sustainable here in the United States. So the minerals, I understand that it's bad for us to be importing it right now, but we have several companies that have sprung up.
It's not bad for us to import minerals, sir. We need them here because we can't mine them all within the United States of America.
Yes, we can. And we've figured out where, and we know
we have every single, so to be clear, we have every single mineral that we need in the United States of America.
Yeah. Do you know that we have the source silicon for every single chip? There has to be a very specific, tight formation of a silicon to start the seed for the silicon wafers that all the electronics are made. That comes from the United States. That doesn't come from anywhere else. The chip companies, they got exported because it was cheaper to do it there just because of the labor. But now a company like Intel that was the front of chip manufacturing is now struggling, really struggling. Now we have.
You did say silicone, right?
Silicon. Or silica.
Silica
wafers. Are you just AIing everything that I tell you?
No, dude, this is like the first time I've typed anything in my fucking computer.
This comes from,
Yeah, they're
I
not
think, Virginia.
exclusively in the United States. Wow, actually 90% of it is Asia.
Yeah, but try to figure out which has the actual crystal formation that we need to make
The
the
crystal
silicone wafers.
formation. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How about you tell me where to look that up? Are you talking about
believe-
graphite?
No, I am talking about like silicone wafers. To the process of silicone wafers, you melt everything down to a temperature where they're not crystallized. Then you drop a seed crystal into the silicon and slowly start pulling it up. And as you pull it up, it will match the seed crystal. But if it's not pure enough or the structure isn't correct, then it is not a good quality wafer. And the only place that you can get the silica that we use or that everybody uses to make these chips is in the United States.
Where specifically in the United States?
I want to say Virginia or around that area, maybe on the east. I think it was on the East Coast, but it is just type in where does the most pure silica for silicone wafers come from. You're right. Silica is common element, but you can only get the quality that you need from the United States.
It's not the only quality. They just have to be, it's just the highest one. And it's in
Yes.
North Carolina.
Okay, well, it's just rattling around in my brain somewhere. I didn't think that was that important.
And
I knew it
yet
was in the
still,
United States.
China is the biggest producer of silica with, wow, 5,400,000 tons
Yeah, but how much
every
of that
single
pure,
year.
How much of the pure silica?
I'm
the
sure
perfect
it's
silica we need to make all this stuff?
99.9997 instead of 99.99999999997.
Okay, well, you tell someone that's working on the highest.
Goodness me.
Tell you.
You still have gone so far off the point that you made originally, and you still
Now
have
you-
failed to address anything that I said. You're just like, well, it's on the company's fault for having to rely on imports because the United States of America doesn't have the infrastructure to make everything within the United States. That's your point. You are blaming the company for having to rely on imports because we have moved so far off. Like, we became a non-manufacturing company for so long. This changed after World War II. It's been this way the entire time for a long time, right? You just have your solution or your answer to what can you explain why we've seen an increase in Chapter 11 bankruptcy specifically for manufacturing companies, why we've seen a higher increase in small businesses declaring bankruptcy, and why we've seen fewer businesses in the year 2025 than we have seen start up in the last 10 years. And your response to that every single time is, well, they import their goods from other countries.
Right, the tariffs hit. Now the imports that they were relying on.
And it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. I'm gonna break this down for you again because you never even addressed this one. On average, the American consumer is paying $1,500 more a year just to buy things that we need or that are everyday items that we utilize. To buy things. How is that good?
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying they're growing pains that eventually
It's not.
that'll
How
go
is that
away.
growing pain, sir, when it takes at minimum, a good average number to baseline it off of is it takes 10 years for a new manufacturing plant to get up and running to full capacity to start putting out items onto the consumer line. So
Yeah,
how
that's
is
what
that
decade.
simple growing pains when it takes 10 years?
Well, how long do you live? 10 years?
Cool.
No.
Cool.
Probably
And
100 years.
then where is so here? Let
as
me
we're
ask you this then.
growing, there will be change.
Fine. We'll concede that point here. I'll give you a boon. We'll concede that point. Sure, we live longer than 10 years. Where are we also then increasing the minimum wage at the federal level to compensate for how much money we are paying in inflationary costs due as a result of tariffs over the next 10 years?
Okay. I heard simple, flat, or make the question almost simple for me because I lost track of it. What exactly are you asking?
Where are or who is proposing that we increase the federal minimum wage in order to outpace inflation that we will be seeing over the next 10 years as infrastructure is coming, because we have to pay out of pocket more for the next 10 years, $1,500 on average, and that increases every single year over year because of inflation. So where are we increasing the federal minimum wage to outpace inflation?
Well, look, the big thing is that anytime the government tells you what to do, it's not good for the people. So
Gotcha. No answer. Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. What next? I mean, I have a thoughtful answer. It's not a one-word answer.
No, you just didn't have an answer to, sir. If you can call it growing pains, except inflation increases year over year. So when I'm saying $1,500 in the year 2025, and that was only for 8 months of tariffs, and now we're going to see tariffs for who knows how long and how many different avenues Donald Trump is going to attempt to go down in order to keep his tariffs, because he thinks they're like the greatest thing in the fucking world. Even he says tariffs, they're my favorite word, right?
I'm offended.
I'm done. I can't do it. I couldn't deal with that was it. That was it. 1 second, guys, over on YouTube and Twitch. All right. Guys, just a friendly reminder, we have Super Chat, Super Fans, memberships, bits, gifts, and subscriptions all available across all of the applications. Be sure to hit that follow or that subscribe button if you are new. I appreciate each and every one of y'all being here. I did not forget about you, Sweet Sharts. Thank you for the 6-7. I appreciate you so much. Love to see that not everyone is lost in the U.S., so there is hope in this hopeless time. 161. I don't know what the 161 means, but yes, I certainly hope so. Thank you for the €5. Anise, thank you for the jewels. Joshua, thank you for the jewels. And Isaiah, thank you also for the jewels. Listen, is that not what the name was? Yeah, it is. It is. They were saying they sharded themselves. I feel bad for them, actually. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I am 21. Turning 22 soon, actually. It's not relevant.
Okay. Well, happy early birthday. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
So I don't support him. I instead of talking about Trump, I never voted for him. I don't plan on voting for him. I would rather talk about policies instead.
If you don't support Trump, I appreciate your time, but I am not doing just regular policy talk right now. I hope you have
Oh,
a great
okay.
rest
Well,
of your
I just
afternoon.
hold on, before you hang up, I just want to make
You're
a comment on
awesome.
something that you said about 2 days ago.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Oh.
Boundaries. Consent. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? There was a joke I made about that today. What did I say? Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Joanna. Like, it's I already said no, thank you. Let me say something. No. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I had my headphones on. You there?
I am. How old are you?
I am 34 going on 35.
Oh, that's the joke that I made. I'm sorry. I just remembered something. I said, we are NATO. We carry the flame. Okay, anyway. Awesome. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, but very loosely. And I've been watching your stream, and I just want to clarify some things because you could sway me from completely leaving them altogether. So the thing I still support is that a lot of things he says, as far as tariffs and stuff, I'm kind of a moron because I hear what he says and it sounds great, and things have just not changed. Like when Biden was office, everything still sucked, and even before then, life always seems to not have gotten worse, and it just feels like when Trump talks, it feels like he's talking to me or the people who just want to hear the quote unquote truth. And I just really want to understand what, besides the outrageous things he says, what are the things that really, I don't know. You know what? I'm sorry for calling and wasting your time. I thought I wanted to ask you a bunch of stuff, but I really don't have a really good argument.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you sit on it, think about it, call back tomorrow or Friday. Well, sorry, not Friday. I'm not on Fridays. Call back tomorrow. Call back Monday.
Yeah, I mean, just the way you've spoken to people and just the way they're talking, they always have their foot in their mouth, and it gets me fucking mad. Oh, sorry, it gets me mad. But it feels like no one's actually coming at you with a logical argument. I feel like I can, but man, it is, you're just really good at giving your points, and I feel like again, I don't want to waste your time. There's other people who want to talk to you, but I do appreciate you. I do support your channel, and you're willing to hear us people who still support Trump, even though, again, I'm kind of losing the faith there. I'm lost in the sauce, but again, thank you for your time and taking my call.
Of course, not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. It could be it, Mark. Yeah, never forget Trump is in the e-files. PB, thank you for MAGA is dead as previous MAGA fool. I can attest it is all gone and owned by Israel. Oof. That's going to hit some people kind of hard. Thank you for the $19.99. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Awesome. How old are you?
23.
23. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I'm kind of on the fence about it. Maybe you can convince me to not be.
Okay. What has you on the fence?
Well, I'm not a big supporter of his immigration policy that has been going on lately. I feel like it's too aggressive, and I think that what he's trying to force is kind of to not have a election, pretty much, because when we're at war, an active war, I think that's what's pretty much deviating from supporting him still, you know what I mean? Just because it just feels like now he's just pushing towards pretty much not having an election and getting us into an active war in the Middle East, which I don't think that we have any reason to be in. At first, I was in support of a lot of his policies because I feel like I honestly didn't understand it completely, but now I'm kind of getting a better understanding of what his policies are and the implications that it has on the nation as a whole. And I feel like that's kind of what has me on the fence, kind of realizing and waking up to the fact that he kind of just lied to us pretty much. And the whole thing with the Epstein files, he just never released them. He campaigned upon like that being the main thing. So I don't know, it's kind of difficult. I'm on the fence.
Okay. So I mean, I do agree with you that there have been policies that have been implemented that are definitely hurtful. Can you name a specific policy for me, or something very specific that you've seen that just is the number one issue that has you on the fence?
The number one issue that keeps me supporting?
Yeah, that has you on the fence.
I don't know. I'm pretty for the whole America First thing, but then even that's getting diluted because it seems that we're more support of Israel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not on the fence.
No, I mean, I don't blame you on that one. The America First line has kind of been a little bit diluted in how it's been implemented. Sorry, I lost my train of thought on that one. We definitely MTG's making some good fucking points when it talks about MAGA and America First. She's so odd. So
overall, I feel like the whole thing that happened with like Biden and the open border and whatnot was pretty much just like the preamble before like all these immigration policies, because it gave just enough fuel for the majority of the populace to now support hardcore policies against immigration, because of the fact that there was all these stories coming out. Not to say that they weren't tragic, not to say they weren't brutal. 100% should not have happened, and 100% it was an immigrant that did it. But at the same time, I just feel like it was just political fuel for this next, for his agenda, essentially. That's what it feels like anyways.
Right. So here's my point of contention with that, and I'm not like really going at you for it. The border was never wide open. It was never closed. Both of those things are true at the same time, because that's exactly how the border is right now. It is neither closed nor open, right? And the reason why is because we can only police so much of it. Because the southwest border is over 1,900 miles long.
Damn, yeah.
Yep. And there's a good portion of that border that is owned by private property. There's a portion of that border that is indigenous land. And we don't have access to private property or indigenous land, which is sovereign land, right? It's their own land. It's not even subject to eminent domain by the federal government.
What does that term mean? I'm just interested. I'm not saying you don't know.
Oh, no, you're fine. Eminent domain is basically, it's something that the federal government can use and say, I can yoink it for myself and say it's mine. It's something that they can claim to basically take away ownership from someone and say, we need it for the protection of ourselves or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's an interesting point. I mean, I think more so what I meant by like the whole open border policy, I meant more so like just pretty much people would come in and they would seek asylum, which 100%, if you're seeking asylum, like me personally, and like ethnically wise, I'm Mexican American, So it's like for me, I also like I've had family that have come legally and illegally, so I can kind of see both sides of it, because like yes, you should come properly, but then the barriers of entry to this nation are so difficult. I've had family that took 10 plus years to get their citizenship, residency, green card, whatever it may be. And it's like a lot of people don't realize that is the case. And yes, people should come properly, but at the same time, when the economy and the nation that they're fleeing from is not able to sustain them, that's not necessarily the people's fault. And then when the barriers of entry are so difficult to get in, why wouldn't somebody who is struggling to feed their children, the argument can be made, don't have so many children. But at the end of the day, it's just it's a matter of education. And these other nations, like I wouldn't call them third world countries, but I would definitely call them impoverished nations, education is not a number one priority. You know, I have family that didn't finish elementary, middle school, that lives in Mexico, you know, like, so it's a very common thing where it's like contraceptives isn't something that's talked about, you know, so yeah, you have a lot of kids, and then now what do? You can't just leave them hungry. So, you know, a lot of times people end up, you know, going to the last resort. We have to go to America. That's a big thing in Mexico. I have family down there that they talk about the United States as the land of, you know, the promised land, the place where you can be anyone, you can make money, send back to your family. A lot of these people that come illegally, they're coming to work. They're coming to provide for their families that are back home. A lot of times too that people don't really understand is that there's an immigration tax identification number. So people are like, oh, they don't pay taxes. That's literally impossible. If you're in the process of trying to get your documentation in this nation, you must have to pay taxes in order for that process to happen. That's a part of due process. So I feel like that people that say that, oh, they don't pay taxes, that's just, I don't know, it's just BS.
So I want to correct you on one little thing here, and mostly it's because I have a video posting about it tomorrow, so it just kind of pinged my interest there. So the process of going from being an immigrant to a citizen, or an immigrant to having documented legal permanent resident status, that's not, it's not technically due process unless you're contesting your immigration. And I say it this way because like going through the paperwork and everything, due process is the ability to go to court and argue your case, right? Not every immigration court or like every immigration case is heard in court, right?
Arbitration or whatnot, I guess, no?
Do what? Sorry.
Never mind, I probably used that term wrong. Keep going.
Okay, sorry. I honestly, I didn't hear you, and that was my bad. So, like, just having a background check done, that's not due process, right? Going through, like, meeting an attorney or a representative of the executive branch over the immigration process is not necessarily due process. I'm going to quote somebody. I shouldn't say somebody. I'm going to quote Mr. Beer from the Cato Institute when he said, and again, this is a quote, so this isn't me saying this, though I agree with it, that the Department of Homeland Security is the biggest fraudster because immigrants have to pay them money in order to have their case be reviewed, and the Department of Homeland Security can reject their case without ever reviewing the case. They are paying for a service to have their case reviewed, and the Department of Homeland Security is under zero obligation to them to actually review the case. And this isn't a new issue. This is how it's always been.
So, but what would your stance be on as far as like immigration goes? Should we have looser policies on it, or should we keep cracking down on it the way that they've been doing pretty much?
So I'll make it as simple as I can. I think that our immigration laws need to be updated. I think that the process of applying or to become a citizen or applying to become a legal documented migrant should be easier and less arduous, because if we make it easier, now to be clear, guys, making it easier doesn't mean everybody can come in, right? Make the paperwork process easier, we will see fewer people attempting to enter the country through non-ports of entry, in my opinion. Now, I have no proof of this. I also support mass amnesty for individuals that have been in the country for, let's just say, 5 or more years and have not even been accused of having committed a crime. I'm even going to put it out there, right? Not even just necessarily convicted, but not even just accused of having committed a crime. It's something that they would have to apply for, right? So they can announce it, sign it by Congress saying that we are offering amnesty, right? And then they would have to go through the system of applying for said amnesty, and then that gets them all reviewed, right? They would have their background check ran, see if they're eligible under these qualifications to become a citizen or to become a legal permanent resident. And I still support deporting people that have been convicted of having committed a crime. That is always something that should be done.
I definitely agree with you on that point, but arguably, for argument's sake anyway, technically speaking, by entering a country illegally, aren't you technically committing a felony? Technically. So by definition, they would all be considered to be convicts or whatever you want to call it.
No.
Not that I believe that, but I just feel like from a technicality perspective, I feel like that's where a lot of people, that's kind of like the gray area for it, you know what I mean?
No.
Where it's like, no,
Well,
you
see,
wouldn't say so?
So, and I'll break it down this way, right? So when we're talking about amnesty, that absolves them having crossed through the border through a non-port of entry, right? That's what the amnesty is about. It's also a misdemeanor. And in order for you to be a criminal, or to that to stick to you, you have to have been convicted of that crime. And then that requires the process of due process.
Innocent until proven guilty. God bless America.
Correct. That is how that has always been. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty. And also, we need to, since somebody does make this point too, like for an immigrant that chooses to serve in our United States Armed Forces, they need to make sure that it's easier for them to also become a citizen after serving our country, because it's actually not as easy as people think.
For the process from like being in the armed services and then trying to get your papers, like it's a difficult process, you're saying?
Yeah. It's not as easy as people think.
If you weren't.
Mm-hmm. We have immigrants that serve in the United States Armed Forces all the time.
The more you know. Hello?
I'm still here. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's okay. I just cut out. I thought you ended it.
Yeah. That's just like these are just my opinions on it. The way that we're going about deportations right now, it's not a good thing. It doesn't look good on us. And as you've already acknowledged, right, like the immigrants, they do pay taxes, including the undocumented immigrants. Cato also did a great study where they went back over 40 years and they found that the immigrant population, including undocumented, have reduced our deficit by $45 trillion over the last 40 years.
And on top of that, we have a dropping birth rate from like the newer generations. Like I'm 23, but a lot of people that I've been growing up with, like in high school, whatnot, a couple years older, no one's having kids anymore. You know, so a lot of times people don't really realize, but those immigrants that are coming over and having these big ass families, sorry to curse on the stream, but you know, they're contributing to the birth rate. And then on top of that, the buying power that they have, they're going and they're contributing to the gross domestic product of the nation. You know, that they're actually going to buy things from stores. And, you know, that just keeps the cycle of the economy going. You know, there's the consumer and then there's whatever the producer or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like they contribute to that regardless, even if they're not paying taxes, even if they are claiming benefits from the government, like government assistance or whatever you call it, they're still paying into that in one way or another.
Yeah, and I agree with that. They do. Like taxes, assisting with the population growth, assisting with filling up, we'll just say low-skilled jobs, because there is plenty of that, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it is needed. There are a bunch of jobs that are considered low-skilled low-skilled labor that is needed within the United States.
Yeah, and the citizens, they don't want to do that. And not to say that those are the only jobs that they can get, but at the end of the day, dude, like, why would people be angry about the fact that if someone's willing to do something that nobody else wants to do and they're willing to do the job right, why are they mad about that? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, isn't capitalism what our nation's founded upon? You know, like.
I wish it wasn't. We were actually technically founded on free trade, which would be semi-antithetical to capitalism.
I mean, right now, even so, we have like social democratic policies such as Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, things that we pay into, but you know, people benefit from. Everybody pays into it. You know.
They do.
So, like, when a lot of people make the argument, oh, I'm Donnie in New York and this and that, but it's like at the end of the day, why would you not want your tax dollars to be helping your neighbors, the people around you, as opposed to filling some politician's pockets? That's my argument anyway on that. Because I want to get into politics personally. I just think it sucks that at 23 you can't necessarily run for many things.
You can't. You have to be at least 25.
You know what I'm saying?
At least for, federal level. I don't know about for state level positions. So 25 to run for the House of Representatives, 30 to be a senator, 35 to run for the president.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. We need more younger people in office, more people in
agree.
positions of authority, because at the end of the day, dude, we have too many 80-year-olds who have these policies that are, like, completely outdated. They don't understand what it's like to live day to day, the cost of living that's going on right now. You know, I mean, wages, people say raise the minimum wage, but at the end of the day, all that's going to do is make the companies that are paying their laborers have to raise the prices in order to pretty much, you know, not make their bottom line lower. They want their profit margins to still be the same. So at the end of the day, that's just going to raise the cost of living. You know what I mean? From an economic perspective.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Like that is part of the issue as well. You should be able to run for your local office, which is actually probably the biggest thing that you can do. You can make a bigger impact on your local community right now than you would be able to do at the federal level, because I hate saying this, voting at all levels is important, but when it comes to the federal level elections, especially Congress, they're one person out of 535 people.
Damn. Yeah, the vote doesn't really mean much, unfortunately, at that point.
It does. I mean, one vote can make a difference in like all of them, right? But I'm just saying that, I'm just saying, like, for you right now, as young as you are, like, make your name or get started in politics at the local level, because then you can learn, and then move on to the federal level, even if you're only at the local level for, let's say, two to 4 years.
All right. And I'm pretty marketable, you know. English, Spanish, come on now. Pretty marketable, I would say.
I would hope so.
And I would say
I
I'm
mean,
pretty well spoken.
yeah, you're doing well. I will say, like, I learned today that apparently Mark Wayne Mullen, the senator that's up for Department of Homeland Security Secretary, apparently he is Native American.
What, like 2% Cherokee?
Something like that. I don't know what his percentage is. And I say Native American, guys, because he actually says Indian, and it would be Indigenous would be the proper term. I do know that he is claiming Cherokee, though. I do know that part's right. I don't know what percentage
Oh,
is.
wow, I was just joking. I didn't know that. I was just joking.
Yeah, no, it's Cherokee. Yeah, it's Cherokee. I don't know much about it, though, but I was like, oh, he's Indigenous, interesting, but he doesn't even say Indigenous. He says Indian, which
He's just trying to market himself from a political perspective. He wants everybody to realize, oh, he's this and that, you know, just to sell it more. But at the end of the day, dude, if you're not actually, like, it's like the same thing with, like, not to throw shade, like me, like I'm Mexican American, but like I still embrace the culture. You know what I mean? Like, although I'm American first, I'm still embracing my Mexican ethnicity, culture, whatever you want to call it. A lot of, like, for him to be Native American, I would say you have to, like, actually be a part of the customs, be a part of the community. Like, you can still claim Native American, but I just feel like, you know, like, you shouldn't be claiming it if you're not actually representing the culture. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, that's actually every Indigenous person that I've met, and I've lived right outside reservations, every Indigenous person that I've met believes that in order for you to call yourself that, you need to be already accepted and welcomed into the culture of your people in that area. So no, they would agree. At least the people that I met in North Dakota and Colorado would agree with you.
I'm reading the chat right now. Sorry. I'm trying to see what they're saying.
Oh, I don't know
Sorry.
what they say. They say a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not even trying to look. I feel like some people are going to be rage baiting.
Oh, they do. I mostly pay attention, and I'll be honest with this for everybody that's in here. I mostly pay attention to people that say super chats. Those are the guaranteed way for me to read the comments. Bits, guaranteed way for me to read the comments. Or I pay attention to people that are subscribed. Well, members on YouTube. Sorry, it's 3 different platforms. It's really hard to. 2 of them say subscriptions, and then the other one is called the membership, because subscriptions are on YouTube are free, and that just is the equivalent of a follow. So, because my chat system highlights the membership in subscriber comments, so I see them easily. So, like, my friend, in Twitch, Aslan just yelled "squirrel," and that's about as accurate as possible.
All right, chat. What do you think? Should more young people get into politics? Would that be the best move for America going forward? If young people get into politics and start like voicing their opinions on things, not necessarily a revolution, but I would say a political revolution, in the sense that we have more people that represent us that actually understand the perspective of the people that are living. You know, we're at 23 years old right now, living at home. I would like to own a house. I would like to do this. I would like to start my family. But in the economy the way it is, it's impossible to do. So that's why I would say a lot more young people being in politics could help push towards something like that. Or what would you say? Or do you think that maybe the entire political institution needs to come down and we need to establish something completely different? I'm not calling for anarchy at all.
Plenty of people are saying yes, at least in the other chat. So, like, Twitch is saying educated young people. The Landscaped on YouTube is saying yes. Yeah, I know, guys. The dog barked because she saw another dog outside and she got excited. And a few people are saying yes in the Landscape. They're just a little bit more vicious over there. Several said no. And TikTok is mostly saying good luck. It takes a lot of money. Capitalism is the problem. It's very expensive. They're not saying no. They're just saying good luck and it's expensive.
Okay, so then if that's the case, think about it like this. If there's more of us than there are of them and we all pull our money together, who's to say that we couldn't do it? It's really just a matter of numbers. You have to think of I'm not talking about revolution in this case, but let's look at the French Revolution, okay? Anytime you look throughout history, for example, French Revolution in this case, anytime that there is a huge disparity as far as from the socioeconomic status standpoint, every single time that there's people all the way at the top and there's people that are just at the dirt at the bottom, every single time there is a great disparity between income from that level, the people at the bottom always win. There's more of us than there are of them. And the sooner that everybody realizes that, that is when we reclaim power over our nation, essentially. When our nation was founded, we were, what was it, 3 or 4% tax on stamps, tea. And now what? At least in my state, 7% sales tax on everything you purchase. You know, like things like that. Like it's just like we've revolted for smaller things. And in this case, I mean, 7% is more than 2 or 3. You know, I mean, I'm just saying from that perspective, we should want to rise up. We shouldn't be okay with this and kind of just scrolling away on TikTok and doom scrolling all day, and instead of actually acknowledging what the issue truly is. I think that's a big part of their scheme. Keep us all distracted and we don't question nothing.
No, I don't disagree. And yes, there are more of us than there are individuals that are currently in Congress or in at the federal government level. So, yeah, no, I agree. Well, all right, man. I guess just let me know how that goes for you. You're welcome, of course, to join the Discord.
What's the Discord?
You don't know what Discord is?
No, what is the Discord? How do I join?
Oh, yeah, it's in the link tree in my bio.
Link tree in your bio.
Yep, it should also be in the description or the more info part on my channel.
All right. Well, I'll stay in the chat then.
All right, sounds good. You have a great evening, okay?
You as well.
Thank you. For someone that mentioned about capitalism and whatnot and how even a stateless society would need a form of government, correct. There is a reason why. I know I'm going to tickle or ruffle some people's feathers out there. There is a reason why I do not believe that communism is achievable, even though it is a nice idea. Why did that just freeze? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe that communism is achievable. So I am not a communist in any way, shape, or form. Just putting that out there. Like, I love my friends that believe in communism.
You're awesome.
Thank you. And believe that it's implementable. I just don't see it as achievable. And that's just why odd bat? Because it would require unity throughout the entire world, and I don't see that happening. So the idea of a communist society being stateless, classless, and moneyless, right? So no government, there's no division amongst the people, and there's no currency, right? We can get to the point of no currency. I think we can get to a point of reducing classism, which is something that I think we should already have. We shouldn't have classes. I don't think that should ever be a thing. It divides us too much. The lack of government is the hard part because how would you implement a classless society? How would you implement making sure money isn't made? Yeah. So I'm saying, like, it's not actually, I don't see it being a thing. I think that unregulated capitalism is a huge issue in our society. I am not a capitalist. I am forced to be a capitalist where I'm asking people to kindly donate me their money in the form of memberships or super chats, subscriptions or bits, gifts and whatnot, because our society currently is capitalist and I live in a capitalist society. So I have to roll with the capitalist society. Because I got to live, unfortunately. And a lot of y'all like capitalism. So we'll thank everybody again, and I'll read, Scott, your stuff. We want to give a huge shout out to Capo for the 50. Huge shout out to Tommy for the 50 as well. Deb with the $4.99. Joey with the 1,000 joules. Zach with the €5. Then we had PB with the 20. Moose said, my friendly reminder to MAGA, have you taken an economics class to learn about tariffs? That was to the other guy earlier. With the New Zealand currency of $5. Thank you. Scott is making some jokes. Vote for a Canadian named Scott for any U.S. office I run in. I think I speak pretty good American dialect. I think you do as well. Thank you for the 5. And then don't want you to forget, I really dislike Trump. I remember you, Scott. I remember you so well. I do, Moose. Thank you for answering that one. I didn't see any new members on the YouTube today, but I do want to thank everybody for being here. I am going to go ahead and end for the night. I am a little bit over my time, and to be honest, I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. So that's why I wanted to make sure I thanked everybody. And Eve, I did not forget you. Thank you for the jewels as well. And just my 2 cents. Oh, I like how you worded that too. Thank you as well for the jewels. So guys, if you are still here and you haven't already, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button, depending on which platform you are in. In my honest opinion, American needs, oh no. So Scott, that's a whole other thing I can go down. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, TikTok, we're sticking here for a moment anyway. That's a whole other thing. There are regulations that the FCC and the FEC have imposed upon our political system that have made it so that it is nearly impossible to break out of the two-party system. And without changing those rules and regulations, it is going to be very fucking hard for an independent party or a third party to make headway. Okay? And I think that's a huge issue. So I absolutely agree. We need more than two parties. Absolutely, unequivocally agree. We need more than a two-party system. We just can't get there right now. Phil, thank you as well for the jewels. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end on the tubes. Bye, guys. Love you. I'm going to... Hold on, guys. I'm going to try to do something. I don't remember how to do it while I'm on live. Where is this option? No. I'm still here. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure something out. No, I want to, no, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to end on the landscape, guys, and you guys are going to go over to my friend Hector. Y'all say placenta raid in his comments, okay? So go to Hector, say placenta raid. Bye, landscape. Okay. Landscape is ending. Let's see who else I can find. Thanks, David. So that's why TikTok, you're staying around to get to your tippy taps in. All right, let's see who else. That's an upcoming one. That's not on. Her. Do you guys want to go to on the other YouTube? Also, guys, did you find me a raid on Twitch? We'll find somebody to raid on Twitch. On YouTube, do you guys want to go to a religious live or do you want to go to debate live? Religious live or do you want to go to debate live? I'm sure he did, Julia. Debate? Okay. I'll also redirect you guys to Hector because I'm not trying to find somebody else right now. Okay, guys. So the portrait's about to go away too. Go put placenta raid in the comments as you are getting redirected over to my good